How's it going, guys? This is another, I don't know, my thoughts video, I guess. I might need to rename this series something else, maybe do another series for certain things, but I don't know how this video is going to go. I just kind of thought, I don't even know what I thought, I just thought, and I decided, you know what, I'll just do a video, maybe something over, like, maybe why I like video games, why I like Nintendo, maybe why I like Nintendo over Sega, or if, I don't know, it just felt like the moment I needed to create another My Thoughts video, and I guess I'll start with Nintendo, and I guess the reason I like Nintendo is originally there was the Odyssey. I think it was Magnavox who made it. They were the first company, and of course, I think it was Magnavox, but either way, they're they're not around anymore. And then there's Atari, who because of Atari during the '80s, there was the video game crash that happened, and video games weren't just really popular as a household commodity anymore. They didn't, no one, the people had an Atari. I have two Ataris, but at the time, no one was buying them. Atari had oversaturated the market, and ET got the rep for it. But because of ET, it wasn't ET's fault that it happened, but more of Atari's. And at the time, there wasn't anything that really, when a company does a game now, they'll look at it and say, yes, we'll sell this, because they'll look at the review it and they'll think about it. Back then, it was just like, hey, we have a game, and it's like, okay, we'll take it, we'll sell it, but and because of that there was just so much overcrowding in the market. There was just too much consoles or too many games. There was too much. People got tired of it, and so the arcade became popular again. And not long, sometime after that, actually, Nintendo came around, and they created the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was called that because, and the way it looked, Nintendo was afraid that they didn't want it over here, so they made it look somewhat something that could sit next to a VCR, and that wouldn't be recognized as video games but still play video games. But because of that, Nintendo saved the market, and that's probably why I like Nintendo the most. Is when you look at it now, it's Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Two of them weren't around in the game industry all the all those years ago. It's Nintendo that's been there ever since, and I always see people and they're always just like, Nintendo's lost it, and it's just like, well, anything that's been around for so long is going to lose it at some point and have to get back on track. Sony had an issue with the PS3 at launch. They just completely fucked that up. It was just way too expensive. No one wanted to spend that much, and so the 360 was cheaper, so people gradually went with that. And of course, the Wii was the kind of the dominating one there for a while. Sony took back over, and then of course, come the 8th gen consoles, the Wii U, Xbox One, PS4. Now you see Sony dominating again because they made it cheaper. Xbox One just ruined it at launch. I'll give them credit; they've quickly turned that around and actually listened. I give them credit for that. But and of course, Nintendo's kind of the one at the bottom of the barrel. They're the ones kind of struggling right now. Of course, I find the Wii U a great console. It just has nothing really going for it. I mean, the new Legend of Zelda's been pushed back. Who knows when that's going to come out. Star Fox is a title that's being released, and now there's another Paper Mario coming out. Now they actually have good games for it. Maybe that'll somewhat revive the Wii U, and granted, it's already somewhat been like that since Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 8's been out, but Nintendo's been around for so long, I don't really think people... Sure, people are going to get upset. They might worry that Nintendo's going to leave. I don't think Nintendo's actually going to leave. I think Nintendo will always be there. I mean, they're the oldest out of all of them. The PlayStation was originally an add-on for Nintendo until Nintendo dropped out and Sony said, forget it, we're going to go do our own thing. Microsoft was originally working with Sega, and we've seen where Sega's going. Microsoft gave them an operating system to use for the Dreamcast, and, Sega disappears, Microsoft comes in, makes the Xbox. Two of those companies wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Sega and Nintendo. I mean, maybe they would. Who knows? Maybe their console wouldn't have been as great if they weren't given the, effort or motivation to go do it themselves. If they maybe weren't... And Sony wasn't so mad at Nintendo for dropping out of a console thing. And if, Sega never asked Microsoft for help with the Dreamcast, with that used an operating system made by Microsoft. Who knows? Sega, on the other hand, I don't think they should come back. They should just stay as game developers, in my opinion. They never seemed to really make a good game. Sure, Isolation wasn't bad. Isolation was good, but before that we had Colonial Marines, which was just an atrocity and should never be spoken of again. I apologize for anyone who I was gonna have nightmares of that game now. But I mean, the only surviving company from all those years ago is Nintendo, and I don't see Nintendo ever leaving this company. They seem like they know what they're doing, even though if they struggle, they seem to be able to come back. I mean, the Wii U on its own somewhat has made a comeback because Nintendo released two big games for it, which, as I said earlier, were Super Smash Bros. And were Mario Kart 8. So I think for the most part they know what they're doing. Now, should they make another console right now, as supposedly been rumored with this NX? I don't think they should release it too soon. Maybe in like, you know, 2018, 2019 is when it should be released. I don't think these consoles should go on as long as what they have. I mean, how old is the Wii U now? Maybe 2 years, 3 years at most? I don't actually know. I don't remember when it came out. I want to say about 2012, so it would have been somewhere around 3 years now, I think. I'm not going to try to do the math on that, even though it's simple, but it's somewhere in its prime, if you can say if it has any prime right now with nothing backing it up. So, I don't know. That it's just my thought. I don't think Nintendo's going to have anything to worry about. I think they can rebound after this, after they've learned their lesson. I mean, this is maybe really the first time they've done anything bad besides the Virtual Boy, and it's said that the Wii U is worse than the Virtual Boy. And of course, at that time, they didn't really have anything to worry about. They had, what, the Super Nintendo? Maybe somewhere around there. But either way, all their main consoles up until now have done extremely well. So, I mean, this is just one real extremely bad time for them, as it has been with the other two companies. But to me, Nintendo's just always will be there. They don't do anything really strict. They don't pay for your on to play online. I play Monster Hunter online all the time, and I have I have fun with it. Whenever a company gets hacked, like Sony, Microsoft have, Nintendo's just there, like, you go do that. We'll stay over here doing this. So to me, Nintendo's just always really felt like that safe ground that never, it's never really left its fans. But of course, they've just always done some stupid decisions. So really, I think all that really comes down to is just they've made some stupid decisions. They didn't market the Wii U. It could have been better. They could have actually done better with indie developers. They could have released good games with it from the start instead of waiting 3 years. And now they already have another console being made when it doesn't really seem like the Wii U has had any real time to shine or anything. So, I mean, that's just me. Nintendo's always going to be there. Nintendo will always be my favorite. I mean, I've played Nintendo games with my parents years ago. We played Super Mario Brothers and Tecmo Bowl. So, I mean, I have more fond memories with Nintendo than I do, Sega. Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite games because me and my mom always played the Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time all those years ago. Sony's my second favorite because me and my dad would always play Metal Gear Solid. So, and I have nothing to recognize with the Xbox besides the fact that it was just there with, or I should say Microsoft, because they've always had the Xbox there because I like to collect consoles. So, as I just said, I don't think there's anything to worry about with Nintendo. I mean, just give them support and maybe they'll learn. Just show them, hey, you screwed up, and which, they've seen that now. Now they're trying to remedy that whole entire thing with a new console and maybe some actual good games for the Wii U if they come out for the Wii U, not the NX. Or maybe they'll do both like they did with the Twilight Princess on GameCube and the Wii. But I don't know. This is just me rambling, not knowing what I'm talking about probably. But either way, I just wanted to get, I don't know, let off some steam, I guess. I don't know, just about what's going on right now. But anyways, that's just me, and I will see you guys in my next video.